and welcome virtual garden visitors. My name's Ian. I'm here to talk a bit about roses, which are a love of mine. This place, Crookwell, is excellent for rose growing. Good soil, fairly dependable rainfall, and particularly a cold winter, which inhibits the dreaded black spot. And we do get the odd westerly breeze which blows the spores all to New Zealand, so it's fairly favourable. I began here by growing modern hybrid tea roses and found that the crimson rosellas like to eat them like nothing on earth. They defeated me, and I've had to change the things that I grow. So as we go round the garden, we might explain some of the more unusual varieties. Here's a bit of trivia. There are about 150 wild rose species, and they all occur in the northern hemisphere, not one. It's south of the equator. And nature planned to have repeat flowering ones in Eastern Asia, and the European roses flowered only once. But this rose, which is called Rosa Fedchinkoana, comes from Central Asia, and it has been proven to be a parent of some of the roses in the Middle East that have slight repeat qualities. Two botanists, Yevgeny and Olga Fedchinkoana, set out on a 3-year plant collecting project, and this rose was named after them. Poor old Yevgeny fell off a cliff, and Olga continued with their baby son, and eventually he became a respected botanist himself. This is a rose called I Paint. It's a new variety, and it is an interspecies cross. It's a rose crossed with a plant called a Halthemia, which has those characteristic spots in the centre. And very hardy, very healthy, and something new and different. On the theme of intrepid plant hunters, this rose is Rosa Wilmotiae, and it's named after Ellen Wilmot, a 19th century formidable woman who went hunting plants in China in remote areas where there was genuine hostility to a woman on her own. So for about 18 months she dressed as a man and continued her pursuit of beautiful roses. This is Lady Hillington, a climbing tea rose, and it's been renowned for its beautiful colour, which has never been even equalled, let alone surpassed. This is a natural occurring hybrid. The parent is Rosa multiflora, a wild species, and somehow this is crossed with something else, and it's known as Catheensis. Cathay, the ancient name for China. Beautiful, simple, single rose. I've seen it growing out the top of a tree 30 feet high. The two roses either side of the path are both rugosa hybrids, with the simple beauty of the single flower and the more complex white flower on the other side. In contrast to some of the old roses, this is a modern shrub. It's called Ivor's rose, and it speaks for itself. This is Madame Alfred Carrier, a Noisette rose, They occurred, first of all, by chance in America, and the man who had them there sent them to his cousin in France, and it epitomises the beauty of old-fashioned roses for me. The simple feminine form, delicate colour, and absolutely beautiful perfume. This rose was bred by the Reverend Pemberton, a clergyman in England early in the last century. After he'd finished his pastoral duties, he became an enthusiastic and successful breeder, and he named at least 4 roses after his daughters. Beautiful Edwardian names: Cornelia, Penelope, Felicia, and Francesca. This is Alba semiplena, an ancient rose, and most probably the symbol of the House of York during the War of the Roses in the 15th century. There are 3 roses here bred by David Austin, who was the genius rose breeder of the 20th century, died this year. This is Wildflower. Beside it is Windrush, and the yellow rose is named Graham Thomas. And David Austin was able to successfully do what had been tried by many breeders, to combine the complexity and beauty of old-fashioned roses and their perfume with the qualities of repeat flowering that we so appreciate in modern roses. He was a genius, and we should be grateful to him. This is Abraham Darby, arguably David Austin's best ever rose. This is a hybrid rugosa rose called Freycinet. The lady who bred this rose in Tasmania also developed the coloured iceberg roses, the pink one and the purplish one, almost similar to this rugosa bloom. This is an Australian rose bred by the most successful rose breeder we've had, Alistair Clark, whose period was from the start of the last century till about the Second World War. This rose is called Mary Guthrie. Single striking rose, beautiful colour.